Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to Planet and Alien here on YouTube. So, if you clicked on this, you know what I'm talking about. The Black Hood, Riverdale. Best storyline out of the 2 seasons by far. Best, best, best. I love the Black Hood. And I was planning on making this tomorrow, but I got another comment about Claudius and how, what if he's the Black Hood? Now, it is a very viable choice. It's very possible that Claudius Blossom is the Black Hood, but to me, it would be a huge letdown, and I honestly would not care if he was the Black Hood. Like, I feel like the whole point of the Black Hood is for him to have some impact on the people around him when he comes to be, like, revealed. Like, like, I feel like the Black Hood has to have an impact. And with Claudius being the Black Hood, it's like, oh, another Blossom killing people. Because the first season, of course, was all about Jason Blossom and what followed his death and stuff. And we saw Clifford Blossom, his father, shoot him point blank over drugs. Crazy shit. It was epic. So, if we were honestly going to do the Black Hood as Claudius Blossom, his twin, I just feel like that would be such a letdown from this great storyline. Like, seriously. Besides the fact that he's in the Little League of Sins and he needs to go to the Big League of Sins, like, seriously, you have Mayor McCoy and Sheriff Keller having an affair, which Sheriff Keller's the Black Hood, possibly. I mean, you have Hermione, Hiram. I mean, you have the two, like, well, Hiram mostly, guiltiest sinners in the world. Like, Hiram's such a big sinner, like, oh my god. Which, maybe, Hiram has his hand in the Black Hood. No, yeah, about Claudius, I'll get into that a little more. But about Claudius, I feel like oh god, I hope the writers don't go down this route, because that would be such a letdown. Am I the only one who feels that way? Like, Claudius, if he turned out to be Black Hood, I'd be like, oh, okay, yay. Well, season 3, another Blossom gonna kill someone? Like, it's, no, you can't have season 1 be Clifford Blossom and season 2 be Claudius Blossom. And him as the Black Hood would be so boring, and I honestly don't think Claudius is the Black Hood. Like, I swear, not swear, I hope Claudius is not the Black Hood. I personally do not think he is. Yes, he could very well be. I mean, he's come out of nowhere. We don't really see him much anymore. He's a creepy dude. He's a bad dude. He has no problem killing his own mother, or trying. But I still don't know if he would be the Black Hood. To me, he's not even in the running. I don't think he's the Black Hood at all. But I noticed a lot of people saying, maybe it's Claudius. It could be Claudius. I think it's Claudius. And it could be. But I think that would be a big letdown to me anyways. I don't know about a lot of you, but to me, I think that would be a big letdown on the Black Hood storyline, because the concept and the storyline of the Black Hood is so amazing, and his storyline has been so great throughout this whole season, that to have him be revealed, let's see, in the season finale as Claudius Blossom, it's just not really gonna have an impact on anything. Like, oh, another Blossom killed someone, like, like, that's it. Like, so I don't think it's Claudius, but he could be the Black Hood. Hey, never say never with Riverdale, because he could very well be the Black Hood. Personally, I don't think he is. I don't think he's in the running, but I wanted to, like, address it because a lot of people have been saying it. Now, my top Black Hood choice is Sheriff Keller. By far, Sheriff Keller. Let me just say, because I said this in my 218 review, if you didn't watch it, it's fine, but in my 218 review, I said about how Sheriff Keller was behind the scenes, and I found that to be very odd, because he didn't stop to talk to Kevin, he just patted him and kept on walking to the back, and it's like, why was he back there? It's very odd to me why he'd be back there. If he wasn't going to talk to his son, then what was he doing back there? That's very odd to me. And Sheriff Keller, another thing, like, the Sugar Man, he was killed in a jail cell, sorry. And so the Black Hood got in there undetected, shot him, and then got out undetected. What better person to get in and do this all without being caught than a sheriff? And a sheriff who can't seem to solve anything, let alone the Black Hood. I mean, for someone who's so obsessed with the Black Hood, he can't seem to get any lead on the Black Hood. You're telling me you have no lead. Not to mention, Kevin is gay and was in the woods in the middle of the night. And I'm not saying that, the writers were going to have him. I'm not saying this is a definite reason why Sheriff Keller's the Black Hood. It could be just because Kevin wasn't the one getting hurt, But it's just odd that Kevin, who's gay and out in the woods in the middle of the night looking for random guys, didn't get hurt or nothing or targeted. It's just very odd. And So we got the Joker Man, we got him behind the scenes. Also, the Alice Cooper article, she had made sure she got that buried, everything was destroyed. But what better person to access that than a cop who would have access to that type of stuff? I'm just saying, a lot of stuff does add up to him. And I always remember that when Veronica went down into the basement when she was staying at Kevin's and he was working out, I don't know, something about that. It was like kind of like in Split, if you've ever seen that movie Split, which was so good. Then it kind of reminded me of like that scene when he was like the beast and he was shirtless. I don't know. It was a very weird scene. I don't know. Some things just. Sheriff Keller, I really do believe it. And if you think about it, he's having an affair with Mayor McCoy, and yet he wasn't targeted for his sin, and it's been going on for a while. And he's still married, and his wife's fighting overseas. Like, if anybody's sinning, it's him. But yeah, like, I definitely think it is Sheriff Keller, and I mean, how amazing would that be to have it revealed to be Sheriff Keller? Could you imagine Kevin's face? Like, could you imagine anybody's face? Like, could you imagine Mayor McCoy? I've been sleeping with this dude, and he's the Black freaking Hood. Like, oh my god. Like, Sheriff Keller is definitely my top choice. My second, honestly, is Hal Cooper. Hal's definitely a possible suspect in the Black Hood. Suspect? Possible, perpetrator, whatever you want to say, I guess. Yeah, it would. Now, what gets me at about Hal is he is gone a lot. We don't know what he's doing. He was at the musical, but he was sitting down last we saw him because we seen him talk to Alice. So he was sitting down last we saw him, and I'm sure someone would have saw him behind the scenes. That's another thing. Sheriff Keller was behind the scenes. Whoever got Midge and killed her clearly had to be behind the scenes, and the last person she was seen with was Fangs, and Moose was mad about something. I don't know, something about Fangs and Midge, you know, I don't know what was going on in that room. All I know is they said they were just going over some lines, but it seemed a little different. It didn't seem like they were going over lines. And then Moose was mad, but Fangs was the last person to see Midge, and whoever killed Midge had to already be behind the scenes, whether they came in the back or they were already behind there. And Sheriff Keller, hello, was behind the scenes, you know, was behind the curtain. He disappeared into the black. We never seen him again. We never was pinpointed on him when fucking Midge was hanging with knives in her, which you think the sheriff of all people would be shown because, you know, he's the sheriff. So, you know, that's another thing about Sheriff Keller. But yeah, Hal Cooper. So he was, last we saw him, he was sitting down. So there's no reason to think he killed Midge. And I mean, he would have to get back undetected, and that's kind of hard. I mean, Chic did, but Chic, you know, saw Betty, which Chic is another viable person. But I don't think Chic is the Black Hood at all, like, not one bit. Whether I don't think he has a connection to the Black Hood. I don't think so. Like, him saying, oh, I wouldn't miss this for the world made me a little like, you know, because it's like, that's just odd. But then again, he's like the creepy guy. So, of course, everything he says is going to be said at the worst time. So it looks super suspicious and creepy when really it's just how he is. So I don't think Chick has anything to do with the Black Hood, really. I don't think he does. Another person that might, oh, I was on Hal, sorry, but I'll get back to Hal. But another person I really want to say real quick is Ethel's dad. Now, I said this in my last video, like my 218, I said, oh, maybe it's Ethel's dad, you know, joking. And then someone commented, like, I think it's Ethel's dad. And honestly, it wouldn't be that surprising. I mean, we've never seen him, though. So, like, is the Black Hood going to be someone we know? Or, because it's someone Betty saw, and how would he know? Oh my god, actually, if you think about it, I just was thinking, how would Ethel's dad know about the darkness in Betty? Who was there when she went crazy on Chuck? Ethel. Oh my god. Like, I just thought about that. And who was at the party who knew about Miss Grundy? Ethel. I'm sure she was there. Like, come on. I don't know if she was there. I'm sure she was. Plus, she's in the school, so I'm sure she heard the rumor. I mean, everybody, I'm sure, heard. But, yeah, if you think about it, like, it very well could be Ethel's dad. But we've never seen him, so it'd kind of be like, when the Black Hood's revealed, it'd be like, who is this? You know, like, we've never seen him. So, I feel like if it was the Black Hood, if he was to be the Black Hood, then they would at least have us, like, see him once just to know who this guy is. Instead, he's revealed to be the Black Hood, and it's like, who are you? And it's like, I'm Ethel's dad. But Yeah, it was very suspicious that Ethel had those clippings, like had the magazines in her trash can, which is kind of like, what, like, are you that stupid? Like, I don't feel like she's that stupid. Plus, why would she make it in her dressing room? Like, why would she do the clippings and stuff in her dressing room? I don't know. Like, I feel like that was just a coincidence. I mean, she said she was doing it for a mood board or whatever, and she maybe was. Or maybe she did really threaten Cheryl, but then again, why would she threaten Cheryl to be outcasted, like to not be Carrie White, if she in the end didn't get the role of Carrie White no matter what? Midge got it. Not to mention, whoever wanted Cheryl out of being Carrie White had to have known Midge was the understudy, and no one knew except Kevin, possibly Fangs, and who else? Sheriff Keller, his father, who would be invested in the show, if you think about it. Because whoever didn't want Cheryl to be the Carrie White clearly had to know the backup was Midge, unless it was Ethel just trying to get Cheryl out of playing Carrie White because she didn't think she deserved it. But in the end, Ethel didn't get Carrie White. But maybe that was just, it was too late by then. You know, like, I don't know. Like, it was very odd, the newspaper clipping, or not newspaper, sorry, the magazine and the clippings all out and stuff. But maybe that's just meant to look suspicious when really it's not. Or maybe she did write those, and but I don't know. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe actually, maybe she did write them, and then she didn't know the Black Hood was gonna strike. You never know. But it is very odd. So I mean, it, Ethel's dad is a possibility, but we've never seen him. So to me, it's not a likely possibility because I have no clue what he looks like, and it would be like revealing someone we have no clue about. Like the janitor, at least they introduced him a few episodes before he was the Black Hood, but with Ethel's dad, they haven't yet, so I don't think he's the Black Hood unless they introduce him. Then I might start thinking it. But back onto Hal Cooper. Now, Hal Cooper, he would know about Betty's darkness because he is her dad. He does have Blossom blood, which is probably where her crazy comes from. So he would know about her darkness. He would know that she was into Nancy Drew. The Black Hood says they're one and the same. You know, they're the same. They're connected. All that stuff. He has this weird obsession with her, which also makes me think it could be Sheriff Keller because you know Betty grew up with Kevin, so I'm sure he would know things about her. Like she loved Nancy Drew when she was a kid, but the darkness thing, I don't know so much. Like how he would know. Maybe he just knows. I don't know. Maybe he just thinks she has it in her or something. I don't know. Maybe Kevin said something. I don't. Oh, maybe Kevin has said something. I don't know. Maybe he has. But yeah. Hal, it would make sense. He knows a lot about Betty. You know, having this weird obsession. They're connected somehow. I mean, she puts on the black ski mask. I mean, imagine her dad's behind it. He's wore it, she wears it, like, and imagine it being revealed that Hal Cooper is the Black Hood, and Betty finding that out. Alice, after getting back together with him, finding that out. Oh, now that I think about Hal Cooper is a very likely person for being the Black Hood, because when you think about the like the impact it would have if Hal Cooper or Sheriff Keller was the Black Hood, it makes sense. And honestly, Sheriff Keller really makes sense to me, but Hal Cooper does too. Like, it very well could be Hal Cooper. But then again, like I've said many times and I'll continue to say, I think Hiram had his hand in Fred's shooting. Like, I don't care what anyone says. I think Hiram had his hand in Fred being shot. Now, I used to think he also had his hand in Miss Grundy because whoever shot Fred, killed Miss Grundy, and shot Moose and Midge was the Black Hood. But whoever shot Fred, I feel like was Tallboy or someone else. Definitely Tallboy, but it could be someone else that was hired by Hiram to shoot him. Because the whole way that Black Hood went about it was very odd. Not to mention, you could have just shot him as he came out of the diner and got away fine. Like, you didn't have to come and pretend to rob the place. And then when Archie came out, you got all nervous and, you know, like. So I do feel like Fred isn't connected to the Black Hood. And I did, you know, there is still a possibility, but I really used to think that Miss Grundy was connected to the Fred thing, so it'd make it look like it wasn't just a targeted shooting on Fred. But also when I looked at how Miss Grundy, when she was killed, when I look at it and I look at like the look of it, it's a different look than the person who shot Fred. And I know they could change clothes, but the jacket almost looks like the jacket that Sheriff Keller wears that I've seen him wear with his uniform all the time, where it's all black, you know, and it kind of has like the fur, uh, like flaps right here thingy, and it kind of, if you really pause and look at it, it kind of looks just like Sheriff Keller's jacket. And I mean, it makes sense if it was Sheriff Keller. Like definitely Fred's shooting has something to do with it. I don't know if Hiram maybe is the mastermind behind the Black Hood, but then again, I feel like the Black Hood is working alone. I feel like it's just, well, clearly whoever is the Black Hood had to have had something on the janitor, or he had to have wanted to do this, or something. Why would he take the fall for the Black Hood? And why would he go along with, oh, Barry Archie, you know? And he almost came off like the Black Hood because he was like making Betty do this to Archie, but I feel like maybe this was someone just telling him what to do and then letting him take the fall. And I mean, Sheriff Keller did shoot him, and what better way to shut someone up than kill him? I'm just saying. But, and also Moose and Midge had a different description of the Black Hood. It wasn't like Archie's, which also leads me to believe whoever shot Moose and Midge probably wasn't the person who shot Fred. I think Fred was shot, and I feel like then Miss Grundy was killed, and then Moose and Midge by the Black Hood, but then this person had his wallet. So it's like, but who knows, maybe someone could have dropped the wallet off at the sheriff's station, at the, yeah, sheriff's station, whatever, and Sheriff Keller could have got it and sent it in as the Black Hood. I'm just saying, I don't know why I did that, but the Black Hood. Like, like, Sheriff Keller is definitely a number one. But like I said, with Fred's, I just feel like it's not the Black Hood. I just feel like definitely Hiram had his hand in it somehow, but I don't feel like Hiram's the one behind the Black Hood. Not the Black Hood mask, but the actual, like, whole concept of the Black Hood. I don't feel like he's the mastermind behind it, if there is one. Like, I don't know, it's just an odd thing for him to do. There's so much other things on his plate that you would think he wouldn't have time to do this, and it's just odd, like, you're killing teenagers. Like, I think that's a little far for you, Hiram, like, even for him, like, you know? So, I mean, I don't know, like, with Fred's, like I said, Hiram somehow has his hand in it. I mean, with Miss Grundy and so on, I don't know, you know? I mean, with Miss Grundy, it actually kind of looks like the same. Yeah, like Miss Grundy, Moose and Midge, the Sugar Man. I feel like that definitely was the Black Hood. Sheriff Keller, I'm just saying, he's my top suspect. Like, and Miss Grundy was also killed in a different way than all the other three victims, because Fred was shot, Miss Grundy was like literally choked out, which makes me think this person had a lot of anger towards her and really wanted to make sure she was dead, which also makes me think, what if maybe that was to cover their tracks for shooting Fred, because I mean, they didn't kill him, so maybe this time they wanted to make sure they killed him, or maybe the Black Hood just appeared when for Miss Grundy, and then Moose and Midge, I mean, shot multiple times, but Moose protected her, which makes sense why she would be the first victim of the Black Hood when he came back, because she escaped him without any harm done to her, and of course he's not going to let that pass. So, I mean, I don't know, the Black Hood's a very interesting thing. I love the Black Hood, but there's so many possibilities, and it's just the Fred thing that really gets me. Now, I don't know if the Miss Grundy thing is still connected. I'm a little, like, half-half now, because when I look at the person who killed Miss Grundy, it looks like Sheriff Keller. Like, the body type and the jacket, it looks like it's Sheriff Keller, whereas the person who shot Fred looks like someone else, and it looks like Tall Boy, and I just feel like Hiram had his hand in that. So, perhaps, but then it would just make no sense, like, how this person just started picking up after them, and how did he get the wallet of Fred? I mean, you know, it's just things like that don't really add up, but I feel like Hiram had a hand in Fred's shooting, and I don't feel like he would be also a mastermind of the Black Hood. I feel like whoever is the Black Hood, that's it. There's just him. You know, he is the mastermind. He's the all-knowing one, you know? And, you know, it does make sense also that it's Sheriff Keller, because he can't seem to solve anything, but Betty can. And I mean, also, it would kind of make sense him having a weird obsession with her, growing up with her around. Maybe he, like, grew, you know, of course, grew fond of her, and maybe he grew, like, this weird obsession, and maybe he did see, like, her darkness at one time. I don't know, but, I mean, Sheriff Keller definitely is my number one top suspect. Then Hal Cooper. Yeah, I would have to say that. Like, yeah. Sheriff Keller, Hal Cooper. I mean, I just think either Sheriff Keller or Hal Cooper, that would be jaw-dropping. Not so much Hal, that would be a little, you know, that would be not really so much I care. Sheriff Keller, that would, like, I would care. And I would be like, and Kevin, like, and KJ says the season finale is tragic. That's the word he described it. Tragic for one character in particular. So what makes me think? That makes me think. What if Sheriff Keller is the Black Hood and he's revealed to be? How heartbreaking would that be for Kevin, Mayor McCoy, for everyone in the town to find out their sheriff who's supposed to protect them has been the one killing them, their kids. Like, come on. It it makes sense, And who else better to find where Miss Grundy now lives than a sheriff who could easily search it? Hiram could easily find out too, but still, a sheriff who could search it, And why would Hiram go out of his way to kill Miss Grundy? She's not even living there anymore, and he didn't even know her, and even if he did hear about her, why would he care so much? I don't know. That just doesn't make sense. So Sheriff Keller is my top suspect. And then Hal. Those two, I feel like Sheriff Keller is definitely. I just feel like he's the Black Hood. I just feel it. There's just something. There's something with him. I just feel like he's the Black Hood. And he's the mastermind and all that. I definitely don't see it being Claudius. That's just not something I see. Ethel's dad, I don't see it being him unless we're introduced to him soon, because if I don't even know who he is, then when it's revealed, we're not going to know who this person is, and it's not going to be anything shocking. It's just going to be okay, where's the Sheriff Keller or Hal Cooper or Hiram Lodge? It's going to be not so much Hiram Lodge, because you would expect this from him. But if it's Sheriff Keller, especially, or Hal Cooper, you're going to be oh my god. Could you imagine? Those are my two tops. Definitely my two tops. Sheriff Keller is outweighing Hal just a little bit, but Sheriff Keller is my number one, really closely followed by Hal Cooper. Those are my top two. It's one of the two, but I'm going with Sheriff Keller as my number one. I love the Black Hood storyline. This is the best storyline, and I could just go on and on about it because there's just so many things that don't make sense, and not that they don't make sense, but there's so many things that don't add up, and that I try to pinpoint and put together, and it doesn't fit, and I'm just and I could just talk about it and research it, and just I just look at the picture of the Black Hood from the diner scene, and I just always look at his eyes, and I try to look, and it doesn't really look like anyone we know, but it does look like Tallboy because it is the diner scene, but then it's it does kind of look like Sheriff Keller, and does look like Hal Cooper, but the diner scene, like I said, I feel like it was Tallboy hired by Hiram Lodge, or someone at least, but I think it was Tallboy. But I do think Sheriff Keller is the guy. But I just keep looking at that picture, or any picture of the Black Hood, trying to mesmerize it and see the scenes and just figure out if they're all connected and who it is. And honestly, it just keeps coming back to Sheriff Keller, and seeing him behind the scenes right before Midge was killed for no reason whatsoever just makes me even more suspicious. And he's a sheriff. He could have a lot of power over people to get them to do things or to get what he wanted, I don't know, it's just it's very convenient for him, who, being a sheriff and not figuring out who the Black Hood is yet, or anybody to begin with. He didn't even figure out who killed Jason. He was just going with the flow. Oh, it's FP, but really he knows nothing. And he was at the Jubilee. So yeah, I definitely think Sheriff Keller. Tell me, you guys, I want to know what you guys think, who your top choice is for the Black Hood. Who do you really think is the Black Hood? When you think about the Black Hood and it comes down to it, who do you think is the Black Hood? And just think, I feel like the Black Hood storyline has to have some kind of impact on the characters on the show. It has to be someone we know, we either love, like, or hate, whatever it may be. It has to be someone that's going to have an impact on the characters and on us as the audience, because it's the Black Hood. The storyline has been such an epic thing, and it's this connection between him and Betty that makes it even more epic and cool. And so for it to be someone that we don't know, it's just not going to make sense. Whereas it being someone we do know, and them having this weird obsession with Betty, and them having this connection, then it will make sense, And what better person than her dad or Sheriff Keller, who, she grew up with his son. He would know a lot about her. So they're very two equally people that could be the Black Hood, and I just find it very intriguing. Like, I love the Black Hood story. Like, I could just go on about the detectiveness. I could go into it like detectiveness. Like, I could just be a detective about it constantly. Like, I'm gonna stop now, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video about the Black Hood and my thoughts and like theories and who my suspects are. And yeah, I cannot wait till they reveal the Black Hood. I'm guessing at the end of season 2. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. And if he revealed, like, I would love for the Black Hood either to be revealed in front of like all the main characters, or Betty first, or if it's Sheriff Keller, then probably Kevin, because who else to see who the Black Hood is first than his own son? But if it's Hal, then probably Betty, or even if it's not Hal, still Betty, you know, like, I don't know, I can't wait to see. I love the Black Hood. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, and sorry it was so long, but yeah, hope you enjoyed it.